I just don't understand. How can you go from being a woolen sneaker brand to an AI infrastructure play? I mean, great. Actually, really cool. I'm impressed. You know what? I'm impressed. All right. On this week's episode, we talk about the scandal behind World Liberty Financial and what Justin Sun has to say as a victim. It also turns out that Kraken is being extorted and the Clarity Act might pass next week. We don't know yet. On the other hand, there's been a massive rebrand of a shoe company into AI infrastructure. So follow along. Follow along because you really want to watch today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share because that's the only way that we grow. Hey everyone, and welcome to the NFA Podcast, your weekly, almost weekly podcast where we give you all the news and market insights for you to not make any financial decisions when it comes to emerging technologies. NFA does stand for Not Financial Advice, and it also stands for Niche, Frackers, and anyone else listening.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on with you?
I don't even know where to start. There's a lot of news for the first time in a while that's not directly related to the war, which is exciting. Because for once you can finally shut it off. But there is one news item that I have that is relevant to US jurisdiction.
The news. There's a lot of news.
Okay.
You start with the news.
The Clarity Act. We finally might have some clarity on the Clarity Act because it's supposed to be presented in the Banking Committee this week. Now, the Department of Justice has also opened up a formal compensation claims portal for victims of OneCoin. So for you guys that don't know, OneCoin was probably one of the worst Ponzi schemes that have ever struck crypto. It was a $4 billion Ponzi scheme that ran across 2014 to 2019, and it included 3.5 million investors across 175 countries.
How did she ever do it? I know the woman disappeared and they're still looking for her, right? Is it the Bulgarian woman, I think?
Yeah, she's German Bulgarian. Her name is I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it's Ruja. So I'm guessing it's Ruya Ignatova. And she is on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list.
She didn't even have a smart contract. There was no coin. I mean, it was just total fake. It was total nonsense. So I think without a smart contract, I don't think you can call it blockchain or crypto.
But her name was also the crypto queen. And so I think it's just automatically become weaved in. But $4 billion.
Yeah, the thing is that I still wonder about Niche. I don't know if you've ever met anyone that invested in it. That's the weird part. I've never met anyone that bought in it.
No. For 3.5 million investors across 175 countries, I have
what kind of people, though?
met anyone that invested
in
OneCoin.
There you go.
But
same thing.
If you have invested in OneCoin and you're watching this, please let us know below because we're so curious how this felt and what happened.
And where did you pay to? How did you transfer money to this person? I was wondering how they did it. Did they have fake companies? I still don't understand how it was done.
No idea.
Who
was involved? How many other people were involved?
But isn't it weird? You and I have both been in this space a long time, and we've never met anyone that was in OneCoin, but we always heard and read about it's the biggest Ponzi scheme. Yeah. I think that's weird. So I think there's something, I don't know if even these stories are true about the 4 billion. I seriously doubt that. Serious. I wonder if that's
really
true.
But the FBI is providing, I think they're giving 40 million back to their investors. So
have you seen the current director of the FBI when he was testifying in Congress? He looked like a crazy chef from an Indian restaurant, and now I'm offending Indian chefs. It was unbelievable. I really had to look twice. Is this really the current head of the FBI?
Did you see the news? I know that we said that we weren't going to talk about the war, but Iran hacked his email, and Iranian hackers hacked his email and leaked a couple of videos. And there's one video of him dancing around in the living room.
Well, that's positive. That I don't think is bad. The fact that he got hacked is bad. Maybe is it a bad dancer, or what does he do? That's the thing.
I just thought it was a little bit random, and it was a random choice of video to leak because of how viral it went, and I think for a lot of people, it has basically taken his status and his respect and kind of just normalized him as just a normal guy. He's just a normal guy.
In my case, it means that he would go up a notch after having seen him testify in Congress as a complete lunar. Yeah, just as a crazy person, telling senators that they were out of line and telling senators that they had no ID, calling them stupid or
Yeah,
misinformed. It was the weirdest thing I've seen, basically in U.S. congressional
it's a
history
strange
in terms
one.
of testimonies. It's such a weird one.
Yeah.
It was a level above the fake one in the movie The Godfather. It was sort of that level, except that was a movie and this was real. But that's neither here nor there. The Clarity Act, your favorite act that always keeps coming back. It always makes me fall asleep, but it's probably really important once it really. Is it in effect? Does it go into what's the deal there? I don't
We'll
follow
find
the U.S.
out.
news.
We'll find out next week, and that's it. See ya.
I think you've got a Google alert out on the word Clarity Act, and every time something pops up, you're like, Clarity Act, here we go again. I got my news item, and I'm sitting there
Let's
nodding like an old
record.
lady, like,
Let's record our podcast.
I hope he's available for recording. This is great. Clarity Act. Okay, what else you
Okay,
got? I hope something better.
and now Kraken is being extorted over
Yeah.
stolen crypto user data, and they are refusing to pay. They went fully public with this. They basically said that internal systems containing customer data were accessed via insider recruitment. They managed to fire the guy, and no funds were at risk, but about 2,000 people had their information viewed, which is 0.02% of Kraken's user base. So it's very small. So they've basically contacted all of those users, but that's pretty much it. They're not going to pay. So let's see how that goes.
So Kraken has 10 million users. That's the thing where I was going with this. 0.02 is
Yeah.
2,000 people. I'm very bad at math. The news, I'm going to go with one piece of news, then I'm going to start with it. You also had it, but I'm going to run with it. There's apparently a sneakers company which was in trouble. It's called Allbirds, right? And your fiance has those sneakers. They're his favorite pair. And are they made of wool? Is that really, really true?
It is, yeah. Yeah, the quality of the sneakers are really good. So let me give you backstory here. He basically will take those shoes to China with him because he works in all the factories, right? So you'll go check out the factories, do the site visits. They'll be manky as like just the dirtiest sneakers that you'll ever see. And then throws them in the wash and they come out looking brand new all over again. And he's ran the cycle for years.
How can they be wool and go in the laundry? I'm now amazed by Allbirds. I'm
So good. Honestly, the quality
so
of the
good.
sneakers are so good. So when I read that they were moving to I was really confused.
Yeah, so they've now announced they will become an AI data center company and found a mystery investor to invest 50 million. No one knows who it is yet. And then the stock jumped. How much?
800% in a single day.
800% in a single day.
Yeah. And then settled at about 560%. So
Uh, and the company will be called. Da-da-da-da.
new birds.
So they went from Allbirds to New Birds. Was that it?
I believe so. Or is it new bird with no S?
AI. And I just know it's called New Bird AI, which I think was
Hmm.
the best part. Just so you
Yeah,
know, it's not sneakers anymore.
it's new bird AI.
New Bird AI. And how is Anish taking the news that his sneakers may go out of business or he now has to buy data centers if you want to stay a
I
loyal
haven't
customer?
broken it to him yet, so
He will be so
I'll
distraught.
record his reaction.
Do that for next week. You know, your
I will.
sneakers, your China sneakers, Chinese factory sneaker visit shoes, they will now become AI data centers. It's the worst part ever. Let me read the headline of.
It's just such a disconnect, isn't it? That by
It's unbelievable.
rebranding to AI, your stock price of a brand that was being called dead has pumped 800%. That's insane.
And
That's
Engadget calls
insane.
it the best article I've read about this whole thing. The headline says, "This is the sign of a totally normal and healthy economy." It's the most ironic headline I've read in years. Allbirds will pivot its business to AI compute infrastructure.
I just don't understand. How can you go from being a woolen sneaker brand to an AI infrastructure play. I mean, great. Actually, really cool. I'm impressed. You know what? I'm impressed.
Now I want some of those sneakers. Because now they're going out of business. It could be like collector's items. I want those woolen sneakers. All right. What else you got? Do you have some other news, or are we there
I
with your
do.
news? You do?
No, I
Okay,
do.
there's
I
more.
do.
Okay, go.
World Liberty Financial, which is Donald Trump's project, his crypto project, which includes four of the family members of the Trump family and I believe three more of the son in laws or something like that. But anyway, it's a lot of insider trading going on. Now, over the last week, they've been the highlight of crypto Twitter because they have been borrowing and selling their tokens, and they've been using their token to lend against the World Liberty Financial Company. Now, if you don't know, Justin Sun was one of the largest investors in this. Justin Sun is the founder of Tron, that mainly is known for USDT on Tron. Now, Justin Sun invested $75 million into World Liberty Finance. And this came at the same time as his pardon from the SEC back in 2025. Now, in 2025, once a token launched, Justin Sun tried to sell and they blacklisted his wallet and he was unable to even access his unlocked tokens. Now, 4 days ago, so on the 12th of April, Justin Sun posted a tweet that said that it was never disclosed that World Liberty embedded a backdoor blacklisting function in the smart contract. And he basically just outed everything against World Liberty Financial. So let's see where this goes.
You would think if somebody invests this kind of amount that you would run an audit of the smart contract before you invest 75 million.
I think
If you're really interested in it,
it was also the time that he was under scrutiny from the SEC.
Well, maybe that has something to do with it then. The fact that he paid 75 million into a smart contract that he didn't even have any audits for.
And he was pardoned.
Coincidence. He was pardoned magically.
Within months.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
lucky guy.
Really, like I just have never seen anything I've never seen anything so wrong being so publicly done, as I have in the last maybe 2 years now. Now, World Liberty Finance also put up a tweet that said that they've posted a new governance proposal for the community, and basically says that all of the early investors, advisors, institutions, partners, founders, and team member locked tokens are now assigned to a 2-year cliff with a 3-year linear vesting option.
That's interesting. Normally you do that when you launch your smart contract and issue the token, but I guess in this case they're doing it retroactively. It's a very interesting way to launch a token. But
it was supposed to launch, their tokens were supposed to unlock, I believe, in like the next 80 days or something. Is really soon.
All of them.
So the fact that you change it this close to the unlock is just such poor form.
Yeah, updatable smart contracts are usually an issue if they're centralized. The whole thing about crypto, of course, I still think is decentralization. What I'm most enthusiastic about the whole crypto thing is decentralization. And unfortunately, these kind of projects are basically run like regular companies. There's nothing decentralized.
I say this every time. Whenever you buy into a celebrity endorsed token, you are feeding the celebrity's wallet. And this is no different. Even one of the biggest comments here is, if you bought early, you're waiting 4 years for your tokens while watching the team extract billions with your money.
That's the worst part. Talking about extracting value with your money, listen to this. Anthropic, the maker of Claude, used to be the number 2 pretty much in the AI space behind OpenAI, is now refusing investors who want to invest at an 800 billion valuation, which is more than double the last valuation. But the fun part is, when was the last valuation? When do you think did they do their last funding round at a post money of 380 billion?
I'm not sure.
7 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago, they closed a funding round led by GIC, the Singapore Sovereign Wealth Fund. In 2 months, it more than doubled. They're refusing investors at a valuation of 800 billion. And talking about the 30 billion that they raised in February, led by GIC, that's the current annualized revenue run rate of Anthropic, up from 8 billion
Wow.
in December. So in December, they were on track to make per year, the next 12 months, 8 billion. Now it's April. They're on track to do 30 billion in revenue this year, in the next 12 months. We go on to markets.
Oh, wow. Is the fear and greed index at 56 today?
Yes, it is. And it
No
was last
way.
time 25. Now look at volume. That's the real kicker. Look at volume. It was 60.
130
Yeah, 134 up from 60. So
billion, by the way.
billion, yeah. Rubles.
Dollars.
No, so it is amazing what's going on in the market. I
Wow.
don't understand. So my question to you is, please explain. I have no idea.
Ceasefire. This is where we talk about the war now. The talks of ceasefire have been extended. So as of today, Trump and Iran have announced that it will probably extend for an additional 2 weeks. That rather than coming to a conclusion on the 22nd of April, that they will come to a conclusion 2 weeks later. What was interesting though is that America's blockade of Iran's blockade is not really a blockade because 3 Iranian ships did pass today. Chinese ships have been going through. So I'm not sure how much of a blockade this blockade of a blockade really was. But either way, we're here. And
It's great for the market, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the price of Brent crude has also dropped. I see that it's priced in already. So just like we talk about how government movements and institutional adoption has been priced into Bitcoin, this is priced in to Brent crude.
Yeah, I have to admit it. I felt bad that I didn't bet on Polymarket because, again, what is it? March 18, I predicted the ceasefire again, and I reposted it on because I like to, claim the fact that I was right for once. I'm like a broken clock, once every 24 hours, the clock says the right time. That's me in my market predictions. This time I was right. And we talked about Polymarket, and I said I would look into it, and then I forgot. And I was going to place a bet on crude. He did?
He did. He made a 5x on his bet because it's funny, right? It's not like you're sports betting where you just, wish for the best. This is proper. Like as long as you're politically aware and you're reading the news, it's actually not difficult. I'm not promoting gambling here. I just want to make that clear. It's not difficult to predict the outcome of this war. I don't even have a Polymarket account. I'm not personally betting, but I do support Anish in his bets, but with maybe a $20 bill here and there.
Isn't it fun though, Nish, that they call it Polymarket and it sounds so much like investing when it's really just gambling. It's betting.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah.
The name is brilliant. I don't know who came up with the name Polymarket, a market for many things. It's such a good name.
So good.
It's so good. I don't know who it is who did the marketing. I'd love to get him on the show. I said him, could be her. Could be someone that hasn't announced. It must be. Yeah. Anyway, but it is interesting. Did Anish bet on crude oil or what did he bet on?
No, he bet that the ceasefire conversation would take place in Pakistan, randomly enough. Yeah.
Good one. But that's a risky bet though. That's not easy.
And that it would happen by April 7th, which he also won. Yeah.
I applaud it. This is a good man you got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next time you have a tip, hook me up.
I don't know. He's also lost a little bit.
Okay.
How about for this week, or maybe then this next month, until the war kind of ends, we are able to adopt Polymarket in our trading competition?
Well, you can always do it. I don't see any difference between gambling and trading and investing. And people always hate it when I say that, especially professional investors.
We're going to get a lot of hate for that comment.
I don't see the difference. When I remember a guy that, I think we talked about this, right? Playing poker is less gambling. Yes, the card dealt to you, but you can still win with a worse hand if you're good at bluffing. And I still think that the stock market is very similar to playing poker. You don't know exactly which cards will be dealt to you, but you can still win with a bad hand. So I know stockbrokers hate me for it, but then I always go, beat me.
I think for
our
me,
market is public.
it's rather similar because I'm in crypto, right? So, and my entire portfolio is in crypto. So for me, it's one and the same, really, whether you're gambling on altcoins or Polymarket.
Yeah. And that's actually moves us to the trading competition. That's why I'm so happy today. I'm also giddy. Yay, ceasefire, end of war. I'm happy for everybody in the Middle East. I truly am. But have you seen the trading competition?
I Oh wow. Oh
Thank
wow.
you. Thank you. But before I talk about me, let's talk about you. How are you going in the trading competition?
I do enjoy when you win because you get all like gloaty and arrogant, but I love it. That's why I'm here.
I'm listening. Well, how are you doing with the trading competition? Lord, I'm doing the
I'm
big ears.
You know
Yes.
what? I'm actually up 2.6%, which I will
You,
celebrate because I
your
was
parents must be
down.
proud. Yeah.
You know, I don't think they know about this.
No, I told your mom. Have you followed the trading competition? Now, seriously, what the heck's going on there? You made one trade that I want to talk about.
I
You
did.
sold something and bought hype. What
I
did you
did.
sell
So
and
if
what's the
you
deal?
remember, 2 weeks ago, I'd moved from Ethereum to USDT, which was a great decision. Then I recently moved that into Hyperliquid because I am back to being bullish on hype. So my current portfolio is Solana, Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, and Tracer, which is the company that you and I both advise, the carbon credit marketplace. Solana is it's down 31% since I got in. Bitcoin has gotten better. It's only down 14%. Hyperliquid, I just did that today, so there's no change there. But Tracer is up 300%. So thanks to Tracer for basically carrying my entire portfolio.
Yeah, just so people know, we started with $100 each on January 1st, but then Niche was still asleep in a
Mhm.
drunken slumber, whereas I was up and ready trading. And I traded that afternoon on January 1st because I always think people don't. And then, you can do usually pretty good. So, anyway, long story short, that's when I bought Tracer. But seriously, Niche, what I'm shocked about still, and it's like I'm a broken record. Why is Solana down 31.41%? So almost, over 31%. And Ethereum only down 21. I don't understand. Don't get it.
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't
No,
tell you.
it's like Solana is getting punished so much harder than Ethereum all through this down cycle. Well,
Mhm.
we can call a bear market.
The only reason that I still have Solana in my portfolio here is because I do use it on Pump Fund. So every now and then I will feel it in my bones, and I need to go make a meme coin trade.
Yeah. So for me, there's one thing that I have to highlight because it is amazing to me. Broadcom is
Mhm.
up 22% in the last 30 days. But look at Nvidia, only up 5% for the year so far. And then Broadcom up 14.
Mhm.
So you would have asked any investor on January 1st in this space who consider themselves knowledgeable, like I pretend I am. I'm telling you, not many people would have said Broadcom in April will be up almost 3 times as much as Nvidia. But that has happened. And then, of course, finally, Amazon, my long term bet, is up for the year 10%, 9.71. Yay. And this is boring, but I still have to mention it. ASML, Holland's Pride, it is amazing. The makers of chip machines, up 27.32% for the year.
So
Europe's most
impressive.
valuable company. Yeah, so impressive. Still Europe's most valuable company. Nobody knows it.
But your crypto's also gone up a little bit, right? I mean, Solana is down 31%, same. Ethereum is down 21%, which I think I sold it at a 20% loss anyway, so that hasn't changed in
Yeah,
2 weeks.
true.
Bitcoin is down 14%. I believe last week it was at like 21%. So
Correct. Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's recouping some of the losses. I think my problem is seriously in crypto is that I'm a fan of certain projects. I'm like I would say emotional about crypto. But I'm passionate, so I'm like I believe in it, and I think blockchain's great. And I think I'm being punished for it as an investor. You know what I mean? Because I think like Solana's great. It should do better. And then I
Mhm.
hold on to it. Whereas if I would have looked at it like I do at stocks, where I have zero emotions with a company, other than ASML, Holland's Pride, as a Dutch boy. But even then, I would sell them in a heartbeat if I think they're going down.
Yeah.
So like, as much as I like them
Yeah.
and respect it, I don't understand why in crypto I keep holding on to Solana when I know I should be selling it.
Solana is the sweetheart of the crypto industry for me personally. I absolutely love it, which made it
Yeah,
really hard to sell. But actually, like I say, I sold everything back in October. And I'm so grateful that I made that decision. It was really hard
yeah.
for me to sell my Solana. So I did that over about 4 weeks, and I just kept selling and dollar cost averaging out. Now I think I only have $1,000 in Solana for my
You
personal
do so.
portfolio.
You're so good at that, at cutting your losses and not being emotional when it comes to investing. Whereas I'm like a man child. Well,
I
I've
think
been called that many times.
I've lost so much. I see it. No.
Yeah, it's like
I
yeah,
I don't know. I've been caught so many times doing a U-turn with my investments, and I just don't want to do that again because I always end up so frustrated with myself. So for me, I have to ask the question,
yeah.
would I rather be frustrated at myself for not selling or be frustrated that I didn't make 10% more than I could have?
Now that's an interesting thought process. I guess I think when it comes to crypto, because it's difficult to look at the underlying fundamentals that I can look at with stocks. It's much easier with Broadcom to know their position in the market, where they are exposed to Nvidia, and then figure out like their future earnings. Like I'm convinced Broadcom will have great years, and Nvidia especially will have great years. The big question, of course, then is it priced in? Whereas in crypto, there's such a fan base of certain tokens that everything is priced in. And
Mhm.
if the fundamentals don't catch up to the emotion, you get these drops like Solana had that to me
But
make no
but
sense.
that's
Because
the funny part is that the emotion hasn't caught up to the fundamentals. It's like I don't think
you think?
I think crypto has a very short attention span as it is. Everyone is always following the next big trend to try and get to the next 100x token. That being said, that means that it's really important for founders or even projects to continuously try and capture mind share. Solana
Yeah.
hasn't done that. They've done a great job. I mean, they've signed so many institutional
Yeah.
companies and banks and these massive partnerships, MasterCard and Binance, you name it, they're good. But I think crypto just forgets.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited that we're going to do a project on Solana that I
Mhm.
can't mention yet, but we'll definitely talk about it on the show once we get there.
You know what my concern is? It's that Iran has included Israel in the ceasefire, and Israel historically has not actually followed a single ceasefire in its history. So that's why I personally don't think that the ceasefire is going to hold. I think it's a matter of when, whether that's a year from now, 6 months from now, or 5 years from now. But
That's a
there
real
will
good
be.
point. That's a real good point you're making because that was the caveat I had in my prediction from March 18, which came true so far. I said, well, Israel is the wild card. And we'll talk about it more next week on episode 10 of the NFA podcast. But this was episode 9. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next week.
See ya. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share because that's the only way that we grow.